There's so many different aspects of styling, whether it's editorial, television, music video, commercial, costume design, merchandising, visual merchandising. You have to really kind of figure out what area that you want to really concentrate on.
Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Brittany Diego, and you know what? It's no secret that black people and black culture have always been immensely influential on fashion, and it's only now that the world has begun taking notice and giving recognition to black creatives for their contributions to the fashion industry. So today we're going over 5 black stylists who have changed the game. These innovators have styled some of the top celebrities and may have just influenced or created some of your favorite fashion trends. So let's get into it. First up is June Ambrose. There's only one word to describe June, and that's iconic. Ambrose has created some of music's most memorable looks in one of the greatest eras of black music. Her portfolio boasts iconic looks like Missy Elliott's patent leather and vinyl outfits in the Super Duper Fly video, as well as Diddy and Mace in the legendary Mo Money, Mo Problems video.
With the metallic suit, it was getting Puffy to actually convince Puffy, this hip hop artist, that this was going to be impactful and was going to change the face of hip hop. I showed him the red metallic. He says, "I am not wearing that." And I said to him, "You have to just trust me. I know that sounds wild, but I said, I put my career on this moment. I'm telling you, it will make a huge difference." Once he saw the first take and he looked at playback, he looked at me and he says, "Okay." And that was the beginning of not only a great working relationship, but a great friendship.
She also had a hand in transforming Jay-Z's style from street to sleek throughout his career and styling him for iconic music videos and both on the run tours with his wife Beyonce. Before creating her fashion empire, June worked in investment banking. She says, quote, "If my foundation wasn't understanding the dynamics of business and being properly set up financially, then I don't think I would have been able to leave a job and start my own business, especially in fashion," end quote. In addition to styling rap superstars, June has styled stars including Kerry Washington, Zoe Saldana, Gabrielle Union, and many more. On top of styling music videos, costume designing for movies, and major advertising campaigns, she's been able to successfully use styling to open doors to many more opportunities, including her own clothing line, an eyewear collection, and a shoe line. June is an all-around fashion mogul and has paved the way for the next generation of fashion stylists. Here's some sound advice she offered up to up-and-coming stylists.
Humility is your best asset when you're entering a new area. And I learned that. I would just literally sit around and just listen.
If you had to break down someone who's trying to go to school right now and says, "I want to be a fashion stylist," what other courses or trades should they pick up that would help them?
I mean, the logistics, the mechanical logistics of styling have changed tremendously. I mean, there's so many things that are factored. For one, for young people trying to break into the business, there's 20 more of you. So you have to really kind of figure out what area that you want to really concentrate on, whether it's editorial, television, music video, commercial, costume design, merchandising, visual merchandising. There's so many different aspects of styling that will help you to figure out really what you want to do. But I say you don't want to be a makeup artist, hairstylist, and a stylist all at once. Not to say that you aren't capable of doing all those things, but master one. Like, you know, if you master one thing, and not necessarily put yourself in a box, because I would hate for anyone to just say, "Oh, she's a hip hop stylist." That's the last thing you want to do. But you want to have this thing that kind of makes you special. You're like, what is it that you're going to offer a client that makes you so desirable and make people want to have to work with you? Like, why do you have to work with me? But the great thing is that there's so many courses in fashion styling now. Whereas when I started, there were no courses. There were not even any internships. So I say get a really good internship with a person that you have a lot of respect for and that you're going to learn from, not just because you want to meet celebrities or not just because you want to be at an editorial shoot, but because you really want to have a takeaway. I know everyone that works with me, I'm grooming them to take my job. That's the reality of it. I'd be ridiculous to think that anyone coming in to work for me doesn't want to do what I'm doing or doesn't want my job. just the nature of the business.
Now, we can't talk hip-hop fashion without mentioning Misa Hilton, who has styled some of the most iconic artists in music, including Mary J. Blige, and of course Lil Kim, whose style continues to influence fashion and other female rappers today. It all came from the brilliant creative mind of Misa. Misa's first styling gig was with the 90s R&B band Jodeci, when her boyfriend at the time, Sean P. Diddy Combs, was an intern at Uptown Records. When they met, Diddy had just been promoted from intern to A&R, and she was right there as he was working his way up and was asked to help Diddy work on the group's image. Talk about right place at the right time. She says, quote, "At that time, the look for R&B singers were hard-bottom shoes and suits, but we had what was then considered a crazy idea to put these singers in leather, combat boots, hoodies, and baseball caps that were turned backward." Uptown CEO, the late great Andre Harrell, immediately gave her a strong no, but after hours of going back and forth, convinced him to give them the opportunity, and after that transformation, Jodeci's career catapulted. That success opened the doors for Andre to trust Misa with his newest artist, Mary J. Blige. From there, the floodgates opened for Misa to craft the looks of other artists, including Lil Kim, and turned her into a style icon.
For the Crush on You video, Lance Rivera basically gave me the creative direction on what he saw and what he wanted the video to look like. In Emerald City, you had like these beautiful colors that changed and they sort of like bled into each other. You had green, yellow, blue, and red. Kim loved to wear colored minks, and you know, she was big on color and luxury fashion, as well as streetwear and hip hop style. It was definitely out of the box, but it was something that I felt so strongly and I believed in it. I thought it was so fly and so different. So I thought that just took it to the next level, and it did.
Misa Hilton has definitely left her mark on history. Now she's come on board as brand MCM's global creative partner. Her MCM designs have been seen everywhere, including on Queen Bee, and her focus is now to continue creating for celebrities, television, and advertising opportunities. Next up is Roach, who is the self-proclaimed style architect. Law is best known for styling stars like Zendaya, Ariana Grande, and Celine Dion. Law started out in fashion as the owner of a vintage shop called Deliciously Vintage, which had locations in both Harlem and Chicago, where he would curate vintage selections that attracted customers like Kanye West. That appearance made headlines and brought a lot of eyes to the store, which eventually led to his introduction to Zendaya, who he has turned into a red carpet mainstay. I mean, every last look that they do together, they killed. He has now expanded his clientele greatly and has dressed top celebrities including Anne Hathaway, Mariah Carey, Celine Dion, Mary J. Blige, Ariana Grande, and the list goes on and on. He's also the first Black stylist to cover the annual Hollywood Reporter Most Powerful Stylist list and has served as the judge on Cycle 23 of America's Next Top Model. It just keeps getting better and better for Law, and I'm always excited to see what he has up his sleeve next. Next is Colin Carter, who's the man responsible for Cardi B's most iconic looks. Colin realized that styling was a viable career option in his freshman year of college at Jackson State in Mississippi when he was 17 years old. He started his career out learning from one of the best in the game. He worked for Roach for 3 years before going at it on his own. Colin started out as an editorial stylist and eventually moved to celebrity styling. His first client was Justine Skye, but things didn't work out, and Colin began to doubt his abilities as a celebrity stylist and thinking it wasn't for him. But a friend of his at Atlantic Records encouraged him to work with Cardi B, and the rest is history.
You know, once I came in, I wanted to do a lot of suits, and I wanted to really make her super chic and just kind of steer away from what people felt like a female rapper should look like, over-sexualized. But now I feel like we're stepping into a space where we want to show her curves, you know, and we want to embrace her curves and show people that there's absolutely nothing wrong with, you know, showing off your body and being.
In addition to Cardi, his resume now includes stars like Normani and Kelly Rowland. Colin is the newest to the game on this list, but he has quickly made a name for himself in the fashion industry and is definitely one to watch. We're always waiting to see what he's going to put Cardi in next, and he never disappoints. Last but certainly not least is Beyonce's personal stylist and wardrobe curator, Zerina Akers. Zerina's love for fashion began in high school, where she used to design clothes and even put on a 70-piece fashion show. She then went to school for fashion at LIM College in New York and snagged an internship at W Magazine. She ended up freelancing there on and off for about 3 years, then went on to publications like Women's Wear Daily and started assisting stylists like Lori Goldstein. She got her first solo styling gig passed down to her from another stylist she was assisting at the time and was fully on her own a year later. After working in fashion editorial, she wanted to gain a more commercial-driven perspective of the industry and began to work with advertising and styling e-commerce for large commercial brands. After that, she transitioned to styling celebrities. Now she has a list of superstars under her belt like Beyonce, Chloe and Halle, and numerous publications including Women's Wear Daily and Harper's Bazaar. Just about every look we've seen Beyonce post on her Instagram, Zerina is to thank, and she stays killing every single one. She even styled the first look we got of the twins. Yes, you know the one I'm talking about. Zerina says, quote, "Throughout my career, I've oftentimes found myself to be the only Black woman at the table, and I've worked to find a level of appreciation for that. I also try to utilize my platform to inspire young women of color and to help them see a reflection in the mirror that resembles themselves." Her 5-year goals include wanting to circle back to design and collaborate and consult with more brands. And her biggest piece of advice to aspiring stylists is to remember that when things get really hard, you've just leveled up. I couldn't agree more. So tell me what you think about this video down below. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you learned something new, and I want to hear from you. Tell me who your favorite stylists are down below. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe, and thank you so much again for watching, and I'll see you here next time.